We've got our user. We are in an organization called Aerospace Rocks, and we are working on a project called To the Moon. This project's got a number of key elements to it. Right, we're really excited about this. We're working on a marketing presentation with an agency. We want to put a lot of great branding about this, get people excited about sort of the next generation of space. At the same time, we've got a lot of sensitive information, a lot of data that we have to we got to keep obviously keep in our control, and it actually falls under regulations such as and standards such as CUI. And in those scenarios, there's actually there's some important attributes that we've got to think about when it comes to sharing. So one is, there may be scenarios where I can only share a document with somebody if they have what's called a license or an export license to see that information. Right now, me as Mark at Aerospace Rocks, I have no idea who has those licenses or not. The second scenario is, this is a project that's being kind of driven out of the US, and there's scenarios where there's only US people can access this information. And so once again, I don't know who's a US person or not. I'm just going about doing my day, and I just need some guardrails to help me. Right. So we'll go through all of this. Now we're going to start with a pretty normal, I'll say, external collaboration situation. I've got a file here that's labeled as confidential. I've got my moon landing marketing presentation, and I'm going to go ahead and I want to share this. And the first option that you'll see here that's made available to me is create an external share. And this is where eShare steps in from a policy standpoint. And I'm going to create this external share with my marketing agency, and my agency is is with Anthony External. Here is the presentation. And you can see that the sharing policy has been selected for me, has automatically been selected. It's based on the label of the file. Now, we could offer different drop downs and different types of policies based on what people are, based on, again, the permissiveness that the organization wants to take. And we'll see how that changes as the files change. But in this case, I'm just showing you kind of more of, I'd say, a happy path flow. Now, I've gone ahead, I've created this share. What's interesting, before we go to that, I will go to my friend Anthony here in a second. There we go. Anthony's, I'm this marketing agency. I'm not, I'm using Google. I don't have a Microsoft identity. But this is pretty sensitive data. But I see that this has come from Mark at Aerospace Rocks. And here's the presentation about the moon landing. So I'm going to click on my trusted share, and the first option that's given to me is actually log in with my Google ID. Right? I can authenticate with Google. Right? I don't have to go create a Microsoft ID. I don't have to, and of course, how the external person authenticates is entirely up to the organization. But in this case, we've enabled it through OpenID. There's actually some terms of use that have come up here. This is all configurable. You don't have to have terms of use, but certainly, we've got a pretty sensitive presentation. We want to make sure that that the person accepts terms of use. In fact, I want to make sure they accept terms of use even as they go to open that document. Again, that's all configurable. Now, what's key to all of this is, as this person, and to Matt's point earlier, as I'm opening up this presentation, assuming Microsoft doesn't fail me today. There we go. As I go to open this presentation, we will see that this is actually all editable from PowerPoint. Right? This is a PowerPoint experience. I can edit in the browser. I can do, of course, we know that the browser-based tools maybe aren't as in depth as the desktop tools, but when it comes to external collaboration, people aren't often building presentations, with the external person in flight. They're making changes, they're updating text. And this goes back to that 90% metric that we mentioned, which was, people don't have to download the file, right? All this collaboration can take place here. And so these are sort of the pieces of the puzzle that enable the data to stay in your control.